What's up, my friend? Good viber. How are you doing? It is your girl Esther Joy coming at you with another video. On this channel, we like to talk about love, light, joy, and peace, and today we are going to be sharing these vibrations to all of the people, the plants, and the beings that are living on the planet. So, I wanted to talk to you about, in this video, what I learned last month from practicing saying no. And to be honest, I really sucked at this. And I think because I set the intention, currently as I'm filming this is in April, I have an intention that I'm working on for this month. But last month has finished, and so I thought it would be very helpful to share what I learned in the 31 days of practicing saying no. And what that looked like, and some of the things that were brought up that I experienced that hopefully can help you in your journey to saying no more effectively, creating solid boundaries for yourself so that your energy can be safe and flourish beautifully. So yeah, this really started out because I notice I tend to overbook myself. I tend to say, yes, I can go to this meeting, I can go to this meeting, I can do that, I can help you with this, and then I actually realized that I don't have enough time or energy to do these things. So I ended up having to cancel on people last minute after the fact, when I had a feeling I should have just said no. So that's kind of where this video is coming from. I'm drinking some tea from a rice porridge container because I finished the rice porridge and I figured this would like clean it out. So I'll go in to the same place. Anyways, Blue Jays are having a fun time here. So yeah, back on topic. Here are 3 things, and I'm going to be talking about the mind, the body, and the soul. So starting out with the mind, mentally, when it came to saying no, I learned that my internal dialogue is already calculating the energy it thinks it will take, and it often is wrong. And so now I understand that, like, in the past I was saying yes because I miscalculated and thought I had enough energy, because at that time I had enough energy, but generally speaking, these are things that you are agreeing to that are going to come into pass in the future. And so you can't really predict how you're going to feel. It's always good to leave room for, error, especially with meetings and times like that. So I learned that I can't trust my mind and that I have to take time to decide. So what does this really mean? So I learned that I have to take time to decide because my mind is going to change. And so I need to actually go, and I'm not going to get too much into the human design charts. I'm a generator. And they say one of the parts of that is open sacral. You need to allow your emotions to flow. So just like a sine or cosine curve, you're going to have like an up, you're going to have a down, and it's going to come back around. So you need to go through that whole motion before you make that decision. And so that was a really big game changer, actually giving myself time to decide instead of immediately saying yes. Saying like, all right, I will check my calendar and I will get back to you. I was not even checking my calendar. I was not checking what I had to do, what other commitments I already had committed myself to. I was just saying yes. So that's a big thing that I learned, that I can take time to say no. I'll use an example at work. Here I am at work on my lunch break, drinking my tea. I'm gonna get my sandwich in a little bit. And I remember my supervisor asked me if I wanted to work more hours. And I knew in my heart I did not. And they were kind of pushing like, you'll get more pay and this and that. But I knew I did not want to. And usually in the past, I would either say immediately yes. I had a very hard time saying no, especially if I didn't have a good reason, which my reason was just I want to spend more time working on what I'm building, because I don't want to work here forever. I don't want to say that out loud to them because they're a for lifer person and I appreciate and respect them a lot. So I said I'll think about it. I'm going to take some time, and then the following few days after that, I realized like I do a lot of other stuff with that time. I go visit other gardens. I work on them. I need that time to also take care of my own self, you know, my own space of the other businesses that I have and obligations and responsibilities. So yeah, the first thing I learned was literally allow yourself to take time to make that decision to say no. So simple, but giving yourself that gift of time, just a few seconds or a day, is so powerful and can really help you regulate and have good boundaries. All right, so that's one. I'm gonna get my sandwich and be right back. Got my sandwich. Sandwich is here. All right, now we're sitting here. So time was super important. I'm actually gonna put this right here so I can watch it. Let's move on to the body. Big lesson I learned when it came to saying no physically was trusting my gut instinct. I generally speaking have shared that I struggle with double-mindedness, and I simply believe that's when you have the feeling that this is the decision you should make, and then for me, I start making that decision, and then I stop, and then I go in the opposite direction, and then I stop, and then I realize I was right all along, and that's it. So I learned that, okay, cool, I have a tendency to not trust my intuition, to not trust that gut feeling, to question it. And so, again, going along with the first lesson of the mind, which is giving myself time to really go through the emotional flow before I make that decision. When it came to saying no, I would immediately feel in my body how that ask was. You know, if somebody says, hey, I want to hang out, I could feel in my body how I felt about that. If I was excited or if I was like, oh, I don't know if I really want to do that. And so really I got good at, like, look at this sandwich. It's a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And it's like, that's heavenly. I think I did a good job with this sandwich. Anyways, so getting used to feeling how I feel when people ask me, what's up? And I have to choose between saying yes or no. If I feel tension, I realize that, okay, that's a no. If I feel excitement, then that's a yes. If I start groaning about what I have to do, I know that's a no. But you know what? Sometimes, and this is something I struggled with, even though I had the intention to say no, there were certain things I said yes to. And I followed through with them to the best of my ability if I could, because it's kind of like a lesson for myself of like, hey, you could have said no, but you said yes. So you're gonna trust your intuition because that's what you said. And so that's how I've been building trust in trusting my gut, is honoring the answer that comes out of my mouth. Whether I say yes or no, unless I literally cannot make the obligation that I said yes to, I will show up and I will say, this is a lesson. Next time you can say no. And sometimes I will actually visualize myself saying no in the scenario that I said yes to, so that my body and my mind kind of come together and say, yeah, that's good. You can say no to those stuff from now on. So yeah, saying no became as important as saying yes in terms of just trusting the decision I was making and following through with it. And I think that's the most important thing. I want to be able to do what I say I'm going to do. And so that's why saying yes or saying no is really planting those seeds and knowing that they will grow. All right. Lastly, we're going to talk about the soul. So, the third thing I want you to realize that throughout the month of March, as I practiced saying no, there were certain things that I didn't want to do that I knew I had to do. And a lot of the saying no and a lot of the decisions happened from within. Meaning, I already knew in my heart, my gut was showing me, my body was, feeling it through. My mind had an idea that the choices that I was faced with life, certain ones looked very tempting. And it's easy to say yes to them, but in the long run, it's not worth it. It's not the direction that my soul is here to go. And so a lot of people, it really came down to boundaries and energy and the exchange. Now, I can't say I'm a good entrepreneur because I really haven't made that much money, but I have made some money, and I am so thankful for the souls that have given me any amount in order for me to explore my soul and the way I'm here to serve others. With that being said, I realized that sometimes people were asking a lot of me, and the energy exchange was not equal at all. It would be things that I would have to go out of my way and take resources and time and energy and just power that I didn't necessarily have, especially with time, an infinite amount to give to everyone's desires. And so being able to say no, whether it was a call on the phone that I just, maybe it's a scam call, or it's somebody asking for something unnecessary from me that they themselves could do, being able to say no actually, I think, honors my energy and their energy. And so seeing it in that way really helped me. Seeing it in the business side of things, it was don't settle for something that is not an exchange that is equal or higher than what you are putting in, because life grows, it expands. So allowing yourself to invest your energy in doing things that will yield more energy is a beautiful thing, instead of having it suck out. And then you might also be enabling somebody to just weaken their own energy body by relying on others in a way they don't necessarily have to. So this is all to say that I felt very good saying no to certain things where people were asking or demanding any kind of energetic want that I knew was not in my best interest or theirs. Or maybe it was in their best interest, but it wasn't my place to give it to them. That's on them. And yeah, I respect them for asking, but respecting the ask, seeing the energetic transaction that's happening, and honoring it. I do think that there are, of course, places to say yes. Like, if you're giving to somebody who's in need, you should not expect anything back. It's very gratifying to know that you can give to someone without having to get anything back, because that is how abundant you are. And so I feel very thankful for that. But I'm talking about people that have the ability to do these things themselves, yet refuse to and look for others. That is a big no. And so spiritually, when somebody is asking me for anything, I have to look within myself and see that energetic transaction for what it is and how it is actually going to help me along my soul's mission, as well as them on their soul's mission. So I hope that made sense. Good sandwich. But yeah, those are the 3 things I learned from saying no last month. Of course, there's a lot more, but these are the 3 that wanted to come out in words. I appreciate you for watching this, and I would love to know what you have learned from your journey of saying no, how that has benefited you, how that has helped you, maybe strengthened your energy, your boundaries, the currency, the power that you hold, maybe how it's helped you serve others more effectively. I would love to hear how saying no has, taught you. Okay. Thank you so much for watching. So much love and light and joy and peace, and I will see you in the next video. God bless. Namaste.